Hello, and welcome to Congregation Connect Classroom. This is B'nai Mitzvah training. In today's training, we are going to go over B'nai Mitzvah scheduling, relating to finding children who need a date, adding a date to a child's record, adding an invoice for a charge, creating a class and adding students, creating an internal calendar, and generating a report. Let's get started. So usually once a year, you'll want to schedule a group of children for their B'nai Mitzvah that might be occurring a few years down the road. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to your reports area of Congregation Connect. And you'll want to have a report that shows students reaching a certain age, the age that you typically schedule B'nai Mitzvah. So I have a B'nai Mitzvah candidate report that I've made here. And you can see on this report, I have 2 children that meet the criteria. And if I click on filters, you'll see that I wanted to see all accounts that have a person in them that is age 10. And you could, of course, make this filter age any age that you would like. So I just have it as a value of 10. You could make it 9 or 8, depending upon what your practice is for giving out a B'nai Mitzvah date. Now, once you have these students in this report, the one thing that you can do with them is you can come here and click on Add to Campaign, which then adds them to an outreach, allows them to be in a group, and allows you to email them. I refer you to our outreach training class for more information on creating outreaches. So after you have the students in this report, you may also want to go to their individual record and schedule them for a B'nai Mitzvah. So I'm going to go click on Sally Seinfeld, and I'm going to go to her account record. Now we can see right here, she's age 10. And if we scroll down to her B'nai Mitzvah module block here, there are various fields that we can fill in. One of them is Bar Mitzvah date. So if we click on the pencil here, we can put in a date for her. Let's say she is going to be 13 when we want her B'nai Mitzvah to happen. So we'll click on 2024 and we'll choose a date that's close to her birthday, Saturday the 17th. Now, once we click save, you can see that the Torah portion automatically populated, and it'll populate in both Hebrew and in English. And if you ever need to override the Torah portion, you are able to do that as well. If you click here on the pencil and you want to override it, you can pick a different portion and then click save. You can see the English and the transliterated English changes as well as the Hebrew. Now, there are other fields here that you can use for B'nai Mitzvah. And as in other areas of Congregation Connect, this section is customizable. So if you track other information about B'nai Mitzvah, you can add that information here as well. Now, let's say after you schedule this child's B'nai Mitzvah, that you might need to bill their family. So we can go to the household record and click on Generate Revenue, because you would want to bill this child's parents. And you would go down here and put in a designation. Typically, you would use the B'nai Mitzvah designation or category. And then you can put in the amount and the number of installments, and then continue. There would be more information about billing someone to create an invoice on our billing and invoice training video. Now let's go back to Sally's record. I just want to point out too that should you need to do more recording of information for Sally, you can add notes here on her record if there are specific notes that pertain to her B'nai Mitzvah that you really want to record. Now, once you've done this, then you might want to move on to creating a B'nai Mitzvah class. So to do that, we would go up here to the waffle and put in the word classes. And you can see it comes up here, and we can click on that. Now you can create a new class. And let's say we are going to call this B'nai Mitzvah 2024. And we'll say that the start date for this class is going to be in late August of 2024, meeting on Thursdays and ending at the end of the school year. You can put it in a teacher, and you can also put in a maximum class capacity, and then click Save. Now here, you can add students to your B'nai Mitzvah class. So we can go ahead and we can find Sally Seinfeld, because we know that we are adding her to the B'nai Mitzvah class today, well in advance of this class starting. But that allows us to keep track of all of the students who will be having B'nai Mitzvah in 2024. And we can click Save. For more information about creating classes and doing enrollments, I refer you to our religious school video training. Now, another nice feature that we have is the internal calendar. So you can go over here and put in the word calendar. And you'll get an internal calendar that is unique to your individual Congregation Connect instance. And it's specific to you as an individual, not for everyone in your organization. So it's your calendar. And if you go ahead, let's say to 2024, you see that Sally's B'nai Mitzvah is on the calendar. So you can see here that we have a filter for B'nai Mitzvah, and you can change the color if you want to, and that way you can get a visual representation of all of the B'nai Mitzvah that are happening in your congregation, which is really helpful, especially if you have multiple B'nai Mitzvah running on a Shabbat, and really need to see visually over the course of the month how many students that you will be needing to accommodate. The last thing that I want to show you is your going back to reports area and a B'nai Mitzvah report. So if we go back to reports and click on our B'nai Mitzvah report that has been pre-created, you can see here that you can create a report of all students that are having a B'nai Mitzvah, and you can affect the columns that are showing. So you can have a report that shows the dates of the B'nai Mitzvah, what their Torah portions are. You can have mailing list information, email information, account information. You can choose the columns that you would want in the report. Now you can see here, I've got a filter here running all accounts, and I have the last fiscal years, but I can come here and customize it. And let's say I want to make it for 2024. Then I click apply, and there we go. There's Sally Seinfeld, who she comes up in the report. Now, if I click edit on the report, now you can see here, this is where I can affect columns. So if I want different columns in my report, I can just find them and add them to the report. So let's say I'm looking for who this child's instructor is. I can add that right to my report. I can click run. You see Sally, and we can scroll over and see there's the Bat Mitzvah instructor column. And if I'd rearranged, I could have that column somewhere else in the report. Now I can say save as, and then I'll have a separate report. Let's say I say save as. I can make this my B'nai Mitzvah class for 2024. And that way, as I continue to give children dates, they will be added right to the report. So in this training, we've gone over how to find children who need a B'nai Mitzvah date, adding a date to a child's record, adding an invoice for B'nai Mitzvah charges, creating a class and adding students for B'nai Mitzvah, creating an internal calendar for B'nai Mitzvah, and generating a B'nai Mitzvah report for a B'nai Mitzvah class. If you should have any further questions about B'nai Mitzvah classes or trainings or adding children, please send us an email to support@congregationconnect.com. And don't forget to watch our other training videos, which also can help you with the B'nai Mitzvah work that you need to do for your congregation. Thanks so much for attending today.